Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some updates here for you regarding this potential war between Hezbollah and Israel to bring to you, and we're going to be talking about Benny Gantz. This is him right here in the photo. He is Israel's former IDF chief and also former defense minister, and he was recently speaking at the 21st Herzliya conference at Reichman University, and while he was speaking, he mentioned during this conference that Israel can destroy Hezbollah's military in days, is what he said, which is very interesting because Israel said that they were going to dismantle Hamas very quickly as well, yet this war dragged on for about 8 months now. So I'm not sure how they would destroy Hezbollah's military within days, but this would obviously be no more than a week, right, if we're talking days. So that's what he's coming out and saying. We also got some extra information we're going to be going over here. I'm going to bring you some more updates regarding this potential war that's going to be breaking out here very soon. But first, let's go ahead and talk some more about Benny Gantz, okay? So if many of you didn't know, Benny Gantz was also part of the Israeli war cabinet that recently got dissolved by Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister. And he went ahead and dissolved it soon after Benny Gantz actually resigned from the Israeli war cabinet. So this was obviously some telltale signs here that there was something big coming, and now we know that Israel's potentially going to war with Hezbollah here very soon, and it looks like it's going to happen. So let me show you some information here on the Jerusalem Post regarding this. Benny Gantz says Israel can destroy Hezbollah's military in days. Reichman University President Boaz Ganner, while speaking at the Herzliya conference, said Iran prearranged its false denial of knowledge of Hamas invasion. So this actually came out yesterday. So it says the IDF can destroy Hezbollah's military capabilities in a matter of days, National Unity Party leader Benny Gantz said on Tuesday. Speaking at the 21st Herzliya conference at Reichman University, Gantz said a major challenge for Israel is to return the southern and northern residents back to their homes, even at the price of escalation, is what he says. So even if they have to escalate, go to war, and probably a lot of people are going to be killed in this conflict, it's going to be a major, major conflict. And understand, I've been reporting on this many times, and I've been discussing heavily that there's multiple groups throughout the Middle East that are Iran-backed groups that are planning to join in this fight with Hezbollah in Lebanon if this thing kicks off. Okay, we're talking even the Taliban. The Taliban was coming out and saying so. I don't know if the IRGC would get involved, but many other Iranian-backed groups in the Middle East, in Syria, and even in Iraq have come out publicly and said they would join. Okay, we're talking hundreds of thousands of more fighters potentially that could join this fight. Maybe even the Yemen Houthis who have come out and said the same thing. The Houthis said they have like 400,000 fighters they could use to help Lebanon if need be. But even Iran, okay, even Iran coming out and saying they will support Hezbollah in this fight as well. So even a big player like Iran could get involved. So it says here, he said he heard the reports about the Hezbollah threat to bring down Israel's electric grid and responded, we can bring Lebanon completely into the dark and take apart Hezbollah's power in days. So again, I'm not sure what they would do to make this happen within days, but I will say that I found a report that I showed to you guys just, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that there was a news report talking about the fact that Israel is saying they could end this war very quickly. And how would they do that, okay? Obviously launching a full-scale invasion with tanks and armored vehicles and infantry and, let's say, helicopters, warplanes, whatever. That most likely is not going to end this war in days. I mean, maybe if they hit the right objectives and things like that, could that happen? Maybe, potentially, but I don't see that happening. But the claim here was that potentially could Israel be using nuclear weapons inside of Lebanon? Now, that sounds very crazy, but if they're coming out publicly and stating that they could end this within days, just like we're seeing here, what types of weaponry could they possibly be using unless there's something that they may unveil at the start of this war that could very well potentially end this very quickly? It would have to be a very devastating weapon for this to happen. Would this be an EMP or what would this be? But that's what we're hearing here, okay? So the former defense minister and IDF chief of staff said the price to Israel will be heavy. We need to back up our institutions. We need to be ready for major incidents of harm to the public. We should try to avoid it. But if we need to, we cannot be deterred from it, excuse me. So these are big statements right here too. Okay, they're saying that they don't want to be involved in this war, but if they have to, they should not, prevent this war from happening. If we have to do it and we have to risk harm to the public, innocent people being killed in this war, then that's what we got to do. Okay, and it says here we cannot let Hezbollah keep threats close to the northern border. He added, we need to get the northern residents back by September 1st. Now, today is June 26, 2024. Okay, so we're talking July, August, and that's basically it. Okay, so just about 2 months from now, a little over 2 months and maybe 1 week, right? So for sure, what we're looking at here is if Hezbollah refuses to de-escalate, Hezbollah refuses to continue their attacks on Israel, Israel will have no choice but to invade Lebanon, push them back, and then, according to Benny Gantz, end this war within days. Because I've heard a lot of talk about that they've come out and said that they cannot get dragged into a long war here, because if they get it dragged into a really long war, what can happen here is we could have a major war throughout the Middle East. And could that already happen anyway? Yeah, it definitely could. But it's something they've been mentioning a lot. And that seems to be the same rhetoric being thrown around here when it comes to the Israeli government and the IDF, is that they're coming out publicly and stating repeatedly, that they're going to end this war very quickly, okay, within days, within a very short time period, okay. They're not looking at dragging this out like they did with Hamas for 8 months. Also considering the risks here, okay, there's lots of major risks. If they're going to do this, they need to do it quickly. And again, I don't see how they're going to do it quickly by destroying Hezbollah's capability at the same time, and then completely ending this war. And then look at all these other groups that could get involved as well, also including potentially Iran. Okay, so we'll have to see how this plays out. But a lot of people are definitely speculating right now and trying to figure out exactly what Israel would do. And then also Hezbollah has come out publicly as well and stated that they would completely destroy Israel. Okay, I've talked a lot about that as well. They've already got coordinates set up to strike critical infrastructure inside of Israel. So this is obviously a big deal here. Okay, so I've got a couple more things I want to show you here on X. So let's go over these as well. These are regarding the potential war about to break out also. So this one's from Iran Observer. Breaking. Excuse me. Israel has begun preparations to set up large emergency warehouses to supply food in wartime. Talks are also underway with Starlink to provide internet in the event that Hezbollah destroys the entire electric grid. So look at that. Israel is clearly preparing right now for this major war with Hezbollah. Okay, I'm sure right now the IDF is doing everything they can to get all of their ducks lined up here to make sure that they've got everything covered. Okay, if their electric grid goes down, what are they going to do to take care of that? What are they going to do about their internet? Okay, what are they going to do about all their citizens? They're obviously going to be displaced and have to transfer probably to other parts of the country as well, maybe move south away from this war. So they're definitely doing a lot of things. Okay, even food. Okay, supplying food and water is going to be a big one. How are you going to maintain a war without food and water? So they're doing everything they can to get prepared for this. All at the same time, Hezbollah came out and they were threatening to destroy Israel's ports. Okay, the port of Haifa, a major port in Israel, also the port of Ashdod. Like I said, they've already got coordinates marked on those to destroy those immediately if a war breaks out. So Israel could be cut off from a lot of major supplies, and that's what they're starting to prepare for right now. Next up here from Current Report, Turkish President Erdogan. Turkey stands with Lebanon and calls on countries in the region to support it amid tensions with Israel. So we're seeing a lot of talk coming out from President Erdogan from Turkey, calling on Lebanon and saying they support them against Israel. I don't think they'll support them militarily, which is very interesting because Turkey is actually a NATO member. But Turkey definitely stands with they stand with even Hamas. I remember just a few weeks back, the Turkish president here was held a meeting with some of the top leaders of Hamas as well. So he definitely does not stand with Israel from what we're seeing. Also from Iran Observer, breaking. Pentagon publicly warns Israel against a conflict with Hezbollah. A new war between Israel and Lebanon would be catastrophic for Israelis and Lebanese civilians. We call for urgent diplomacy, says the Pentagon chief. So this is really big too. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of worry here around the world, okay, that's starting to bring international attention to this region. And they're definitely concerned for many of the citizens here, not just in Lebanon, but Israel as well, and even surrounding countries. If this war starts to spill out, this could definitely spill out into Syria. Who knows? If all these other groups get involved, I'm sure they'll go through Syria. So, this is a very big deal. If this war breaks out, we're going to have a lot of innocent people that are going to be killed, because it's going to be a very bloody war as well, considering the threats that we're seeing from both sides, from Israel and from Hezbollah. Okay, so next up here again from Globe Eye News, Turkish President Erdogan again. Israel now sets its sights on Lebanon. Netanyahu's plans to spread the war to the region will lead to a major catastrophe. Turkey stands by the brotherly Lebanese people in the state. So he's warning here that this will lead to a major catastrophe. Okay, what kind of catastrophe could that be? Well, lots of different scenarios can happen here, but at the end of the day, this war is not going to be, it's not going to be a good war, okay? It's going to be a very nasty war. It's not going to be clean. Hezbollah's already come out and said they will fight with no limits, no red lines, no nothing. They will just cross all boundaries and do whatever is necessary to destroy Israel. And this could be the trap that Israel falls into if they decide to go after Lebanon. But I've talked about this many times. It seems like at the same time, they're going to have to go after them, because they've got no choice if Hezbollah doesn't stop attacking them. And at the same time as well, they have to continue their operations down with Hamas in the Gaza Strip, which is also why they're being attacked to begin with. So finally, I want to show you this. This is the newest news that I have today from Megatron Ron. It says new. Israeli Channel 12 says Israel is facing a decisive moment regarding Hezbollah. The army has begun to transfer forces in the center of gravity to the north. The Northern Command continues training and preparing forces coming from the south and north. We are approaching the decisive moment with Lebanon. Either an agreement or opening a front will require a very strong start. So they are getting ready right now, ladies and gentlemen. They are prepared for war. They are starting to transfer weapons and equipment. I just saw video footage the other day of Israeli tanks starting to move towards the northern side of the border. And anytime militaries are transferring this type of heavy equipment, okay, it's very expensive, very costly for them to do this, and it requires a lot of resources as well. So if they're planning to move all these equipment and they're doing this right now, very high chance here that we're going to see a war breaking out here very soon. So, we're at crunch time when it comes to this war. And if these two countries do not find a way to diplomatically solve this, in the next few weeks here, maybe sooner, we could be seeing a war breaking out. And again, Benny Gantz said that they got to move their residents back by September 1st. So how are they going to do that if a war gets dragged out for 6 months or a year? It definitely lines up, and it makes sense with what Benny Gantz is saying here, that they could topple Hezbollah within days. Okay, I'm not saying that they'll be able to do that. We don't know, obviously, until it actually happens. But we'll have to see what Israel plans to do. If they do go to war here, how are they going to do this within days? Well, they're probably going to unveil something that we've never seen before. Who knows? But let me know what you think down below. I'm very curious to know what you guys are thinking regarding this. This is obviously a very hot topic right now, and we've been discussing this quite a bit. So share your thoughts, concerns, and opinions down in the comment section. But that's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.